we doing, folks? Well, why do today what you can put off until tomorrow? I've been procrastinating long enough about doing the oil change on the Mk2 Golf behind me here, so let's do it now. I think it's slightly overdue. About 10,000 miles. It should be done every 6,000. So yeah, it's not going to really thank me for that. But I have a 10W40 engine oil and the new oil filter to put onto it. So let's get stuck in. $19mm. Okay, so yeah, what I was saying is it's 19mm, the sump plug. So the oil is draining now. Luckily enough, because I was the last person to change the oil in this, I didn't stitch the oil filter, so I was able to remove it by hand. So it should really be only as tight as that. Like, you shouldn't have to tighten it by using a bloody oil filter removal tool, because it's a removal tool, not an installation tool. This should really be just a good turn by hand. Anyway, the oil filter is down there. So I've loosened it off, so I'm just waiting for the oil to drain out, and well, while it's draining out, once it's fully drained, what I'll do is I will take the oil filter off then and drop it into the pan. What you can do is you can sometimes just sort of wrap a bag around it and let it just drop into the bag. I might do it that way. Okay, so as I said, it's only hand tight, so the bag up over it. Make sure there's enough of the bag under it to catch the oil that comes out, and make sure you don't get a bag that has a big hole in it, because that defeats the purpose of this exercise. And just basically spin the filter off and let it drop into the bag. And then what we'll do is, when we're installing the new filter, which we'll do now in a minute, we'll just put a little smear of oil on the O-ring on the filter. I have a couple of rags handy as well. Just wash the hands off, or wipe the hands off. It should be done really well. The engine is warm, so the engine is warm. I'm just after driving back from meeting up with the local VW contingent for a socially distanced meeting of classic Volkswagens, which was very enjoyable. I'll link to a couple of pictures. So now, that's the old filter removed. Give it a wipe down there. And we'll put our new filter on. You can see there's a nice smear of oil on the O-ring for the oil filter, but what I want to do before I install it is I just want to fill that up with some oil, just so that we're not having to run the engine with no oil pressure for any real length of time. Okay, just literally fill that up. Now, so we will spin that filter on now. Obviously you can use that oil to wet it out. Could have done that instead, but anyway, I didn't. I just used the oil from the old oil filter just to give it a smear. So there we go. Anyway, let's get that fitted. It literally just spins on by hand. It's kind of slippery with the oil, so a rag just makes it a bit easier. Okay, so the filter is now on hand tight. I haven't tightened it with any tools or anything like that, just literally a good turn by hand. It means at least then when it comes to changing it I can remove it easily. Next thing to do is to put the sump plug in. Don't forget that. If you want to stick a new copper washer on it, so much the better, but I forgot to get one, so we'll nip it up, it'll be grand. And if it leaks, then we can address that situation then. We're giving it another little nip. Because obviously you take the plug out, you're going to lose your oil, or at least some of it. So let's get that in. As I said, 19mm. you'll notice I didn't go and brace myself by putting one foot on the chassis and then using two hands on the ratchet to swing out of the plug. Just a quick nip, that's all you need to do. It's an aluminium sump, you don't want to go ripping it out of it. Now we just put our fresh oil in. But before I do that, let's get the jack and axle stand out of it. Okay, so the stated oil capacity is 3.5 litres, plus another half a litre to pour down the side of the engine block as well. So 3.5 litres. So, excuse the band of teenagers going through the estate making a racket, as they can't do it quietly. It's just the way they are. So. Okay, so 4 litres of oil in the sump, plus whatever I put into the filter brought this to the full mark. So let's just check our oil level, which is spot on. And what we'll do now is we'll crank the engine over after putting the oil cap back on, and we'll see how she sounds. Right, there we go folks. Job's a good one. So it took 4 litres of oil in the end, and the engine, the oil pressure light went out pretty much straight away when I started it there, which is great. So yeah, next thing I want to do is I'm going to throw it on to charge, because this car, it's been a while since it's been driven properly and the battery is definitely a little bit low. Even though I gave it a good run today, it's better off to just charge it periodically over the winter if you're not using it much. And the other thing as well is there's a couple of scratches on the bonnet. I'm going to try and give it a polish. So let's see how we go there. The old favourite. See how it gets on. Well, I got some of the scratches out, but to be honest with you, trying to do it while the condensation is forming on the car as it's getting dark was not my brightest move, but anyway, look. It still looks a little bit better than it did. So anyway, thanks for watching folks. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a future video. Thanks for watching.